Taurus, from the 20th of April to the 20th of May. Rules: the neck, nape and ears. Metal: copper. Stone: emerald and agate. Perfume: aromatic herb. Plant: birch. Flower: thorned. Planet: Venus. Color: green. Element: earth. Key word: love. Day: Friday. Ruler: Uriel, beloved disciple. In the past lecture, I promised I would give you the clues of these two golden rules. The lion of the law is combated with the scales. When an inferior law is transcended by a superior law, the superior law washes away the inferior law. The solution to these two golden rules is found in a third, which says, "Do good deeds to pay your debts." Very well. Now imagine a scale. On one pan lie your good deeds, and on the other, your bad deeds and your corresponding karma. If the karmic pan is inclined against you, then you will be able to fight it by placing more weight on the pan of good deeds, and then thou shalt incline the scale in thy favor, and thus kill karma. A temple of the lords of karma exists in the subtle world, and the jackal is great chief of these judges of destiny. This great being is supreme judge of the cosmic tribunal. He has the appearance of a great man with the head of a jackal. When we have accumulated capital in the cosmic bank, we pay our debts and avoid pain. Those who live daily making new deposits to the cosmic bank will always have something with which to pay their old debts. In this matter of paying debts, one should always keep in mind the law of analogies and of correspondences. The karmic analogies are fought with dharmic analogies. Karma and dharma, these two Oriental terms, mean punishment and reward. In a more philosophical form, we would say bad action and bad consequence, and modifying the causes, one modifies the effects, since the effects are nothing else but causes reproduced in another form. Are you going to be made a prisoner? Give freedom to another. Is your son going to die? Heal your fellow man. Are you in misery? Give all that you have left to the hungry and sacrifice all your efforts in favor of others. Beg in prayer to the lords of karma, and you will be heard. Do not forget, beloved disciple, that justice is the supreme mercy and impiety of the law. So I have already taught you the two golden rules, and I have explained to you how to kill karma. In the following lessons, I will be teaching you how to manage the sidereal rays. He who has, receives, and the more he gives, the more he receives. That is the law. But those who do works of evil shall be victims of their own deeds. Why do people suffer? Why do they blaspheme against God if human suffering is not God's fault? We ourselves are the creators of our own destiny. Sanctify thyself, beloved disciple, sanctify thyself. There are three eternal things in life: the law, nirvana, and space. Now, let us begin explaining the exercises of the constellation of Taurus. The cortege of stars that form the constellation of Taurus is the house of Venus, the ineffable star of love, the break of dawn, and consequently Taurus is of Venusian nature. Taurines are of amorous and Venusian nature due to this. They love much in love and always pass through great deceptions. Taurines are tame and industrious like the bull, that symbolizes that group of stars. But at times they are also aggressive like the bull. They are tenacious and gluttons, romantic and sensual. They love music, dance, and beauty. They have an ability for all types of manual arts. Taurus rules the larynx and the neck. The larynx is also a sexual uterus where the verb is born. The creative larynx will be the sexual organ of the future divine humanity.
The sexual fire of the Kundalini becomes a creator in the Word. In our works titled The Perfect Matrimony, The Revolution of Bel, and the Treatise of Occult Medicine and Practical Magic, we have already extensively spoken about the Kundalini and taught the great arcanum, or supreme secret, for the awakening of the asleep princess of the Kundalini. The verb is intimately related with the four elements of nature, and due to this, the initiates of the ancient temples of mystery were prohibited from talking about the old catastrophes of ancient Arcadia in fear that they would bring them back into existence.
The ancient hierophants knew too well that the verb is related to the four elements of nature, and that talking about a catastrophe is as much as evoking it again. For this reason, the initiates never spoke publicly about the archaic cataclysms. A hard word follows us and later falls upon him who pronounced it like a ray of vengeance. One does not only fornicate with the sexual act, there is another kind of fornication with the verb. The improper use of words is also fornication. Fornication with the verb creates astral larvae and misfortunes. It hurts to see how people abuse the verb and fill the world with pain. Slander is the worst of all blasphemies. One should achieve in oneself the perfection of the verb and language. One should comprehend the responsibility of the verb. One should learn to use the sexual organ of the verb. Do you not feel the need to learn how to use the verb? Listen to me, beloved disciple, for I will teach you how to use the sparkle of Venus. Sit in a comfortable chair, close your eyes, set aside all earthly thought from your mind, and focus your thought on your internal master, praying like this. Prayer. Dear Father, you who art my true being, I beg you with all my heart and with all my soul, that you penetrate in the heart temple of the star of Venus, so that you may kneel at the feet of Uriel and ask of him the following favor. Then the disciple mentally salutes the guardian at the right column, will take a deep breath and pronounce the password Yachin. Next, he will do the same with the guardian at the left column and pronounces the password Boaz. In other words, first the deep breath, then he will pray to his internal master, telling him, Lord, take the 7 steps into the temple to make the petition, my Father, my Lord, my God. Once the petition has been made, one asks Uriel with one's whole heart for a choir of angels to accomplish the work. They sing and create. If the angel of Venus grants our petition, the choir of angels, who are his sons and live with him in the temple of the nucleus of the star of Venus, will begin to sing in sacred language to do the work we have asked. That is how the army of the word creates by means of the verb. If any profane observer was to observe the heavens in those instants, he would see the planet Venus shining and glowing in an intensified and rare manner. The observer would simply be amazed on contemplating the original sparkle of Venus in those instants. The indigo-colored hierarchies of the star of Venus gave us the causal body, or body of will.
They grant what we ask for, when karma allows it. However, if our petition is not granted, then Uriel will show the disciple the clock of destiny, and in this case, we have no other option but to bow down our head before the verdict of the law. In the actual world, there is a great number of schools that try to accomplish these same miracles by mental force, without taking into account at all the approval of the lords of destiny. That is simply pure and legitimate black magic. The Christ mind works well with the law. Black mental waves do not arrive where they are sent because a multitude of aerial elementals that trap and intercept their path exist in the subtle world. innumerable forces which divert or disintegrate destructive mental waves also exist in space. Therefore, evil waves can only cause harm when the victim does not know how to love nor forgive. Mental energy is absolutely deficient when it does not work with the energy of the inner self. The miracle worker utilizes mental energy, but uniting it with the inner self. That is the wise mind. The miracle worker works only with the divine powers of his inner angel and his Christ mind. The saintly masters of the White Brotherhood cooperate with the magician and his Christ mind. The sidereal genii perform their miracles with the ray of justice when the magician officiates on the altar of the Lion of the Law. Let us now enter the exercises of Taurus. During this month, the following exercise is done. Exercise. The disciple should sit on a comfortable chair. Close your eyes, remove all thought from your mind. Make yourself a little drowsy, and then focus your mind inwards, towards the inner self, praying like this. Prayer. My Father, now transport yourself to the principal star of Taurus. Enter through the doors of the Heart Temple, making the salutes which you already know, and beg the sidereal genie and his angels of that star to condescend and come to me, so that they may prepare me and cure my larynx. Then, already sleepy, the disciple should imagine seeing light accumulated in his head, now descending to his throat, while he pronounces the word Aom. With the vowel Ah, he imagines the light descending from his head to his throat. With the vowel O, he will imagine the light flooding his throat. And with the vowel M, the disciple will exhale the breath as if expiring the refuse that resides in his throat. This mantram is pronounced 4 times. I will warn my disciple that the salutes as I have described them when I spoke of Venus, along with the passwords Jachin and Boaz, apply to all the stars in the sky. Therefore, the genie of the constellation of Taurus will personally come to awaken the powers of the larynx. And if the disciple has any laryngeal illness, he can ask of these genii of Taurus to be cured, and they will cure him. The disciple will also be able to take advantage of these powers to heal others. The disciple should daily vocalize the vowel E, like this. E.
For 1 hour. The vibratory sound of this vowel will awaken the power of the occult ear in him. The vowel E causes the thyroid gland, which is the center of the magical ear, to vibrate. The vowel E also develops clairvoyance of the mental body in us. The vowel E makes the mental body vibrate and gives us conceptual synthetism and the power to penetrate the intimate sense of words.